Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so I'm working from home today. As you can see, this is my working from home desk, and I thought it would be the perfect time just to jump on and do a talking to camera piece to you guys about my history, my work history, so my career in the past, and also my entrepreneurial journey. So when I set up a couple of businesses recently, Hawkins and Shepherd and DeAndre's, I want to talk you through why I did those and what I did to go about setting those up. And actually the most important thing really is mistakes that I made. I'm going to talk through them so that hopefully if anyone out there, any business owners or any entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs, will take on board what I'm going to say and hopefully not make those mistakes that I potentially have made. So just going back really, so my career was in IT. I worked for a commodities trading company for 15 or so years. Actually, it was just a bit less than that. My career in IT was about 15 years, but the first 2 years were basically IT support. So sort of picking up the phone, fixing computers, doing the real basics of IT. But I grew quickly, and by the end of my career, I ended up being global head of IT networks and telephony. And I was dealing with a lot of big projects for this company. We would buy assets in Africa or all over the world, and I would go set up the office, you know, the network security, the Cisco, the telephony, the IP phones, all of that sort of stuff I was responsible for. So I had a lot of knowledge back then, technical knowledge, that I really took into my businesses. And I feel that with that IT background, I'm in a unique position to offer IT kind of advice because that was my career, but also I took that into my businesses. So it helped when I was setting up my businesses in terms of, I don't know, processes or websites or domain registrations and all those IT aspects that you really need when you're setting up a business. And they're the skills that I find that people particularly struggle with. You know, business owners or startups, they're really good at product and marketing, and they know deep down about what their product is, but what they struggle with is the IT side of things. And that's really, I guess, the specialty of where I come from and the knowledge that I can probably give you guys. Just going back, you know, when I did IT, I then actually left to set up my first business, which was Hawkins and Shepherd. And I think I did an all right job, but there were certainly things there where I wish that I changed. I wish that I did something slightly different. And one of those really was the website. Now, the mistake that I really made was I spent too much money on my website. And I used multiple different companies, one for the design of the website, and I used 2 companies for particular aspects of the build of the website. Now, it really did cost a lot of money. And now looking back, when I'm trying to make changes to my website, small little changes even, it involves a lot more effort and involves a lot more money because a lot of the code that's in my website is third party and it's custom because it's done by 2 different companies. So it's really hard to make changes without affecting other things on my website. Now, I'm going to introduce you to a company. It's called Ionos. Now, these guys, I'll put the link below. Now, these guys can really exceptionally help with that side of things. So, for example, you know, you can do all sorts of stuff with them. You can do your domain registration, but they can also do your website design. They've got this template library where you can pick a template and design your website around that. But you know what? The most important thing with Ionos is that they've got a personal consultant that you can rely on, you can talk to on a daily basis, and you get the same consultant every time. Obviously, unless they're on holiday, of course, you know, everyone needs a holiday, but that's just such a great resource that you can have there. You know, most entrepreneurs and most startups, you're on your own. You feel like you're lonely, you feel everything. All the decisions are on your shoulder. Imagine if you could just, I don't know, pick up the phone or write an email to a personal consultant that's experienced in business and experienced in SMEs and startups. So that's another kind of USP for these guys. But also they've got exceptional customer care. In fact, it's award-winning. Not only that, their support and their customer care is UK based. So it's a great asset to call upon. Now, I would have used them for my website design because I could have just gone to them and said, look, this is my idea about the design. How about we come up with a design together? But more than that, okay, let's pick one of the templates on your template library and let's run with that. and you can help me with the implementation. So you've got design, implementation, templates, and support at the end of the whole process, all in one package, rather than what I did with Hawkins and Shepherd, where I was like picking pieces from this designer, or I like that, I'll pick that from that, and it really hurts you later on down the line, and it will hurt your budget and your money, especially when you're starting up. So bear that in mind. Now, once I kind of like moved to Hawkins and Shepherd, well, I still do Hawkins and Shepherd. It's an e-commerce site that the processes are in place that kind of means that the website can just keep going with a minimum amount of my time. But one of the things that I really did when I launched Hawkins and Shepherd was think about marketing, and that's where my blog came in and my influencing kind of career. So when I started Instagram, I started blogging. I wanted to market Hawkins and Shepherd in a way that would get to my customers cheaply and organically, and that was I basically leveraged social media. Who knew that social media back then, this was in 2012, would become the giant that it was today? I don't think influencer term was even existed back then. With the blog, another thing that I could have used the Iona services for, and mainly the consultant there, is how I could have grown my digital platforms, so my social media platforms, quickly and easily, and advice on that. And they would have really helped in that respect. Again, it was something that I just jumped into, and lucky for me, it worked. The influencer industry just picked up. It was something that I got lucky about, but not everyone is as lucky to fall on their feet in that respect. I then kind of decided that I want to bring out a new business. So this was actually the one that's flashing up in the background all the time. Sorry about that. A bit of promotion there. It's my new brand. It's DeAndrea's, and it's a unisex jewelry business that gives back to charities. So percentage of sales go to mental health charities. But this is my second business, so I made a lot less mistakes in this business that I did in Hawkins and Shepherd. Now, one mistake that I did make in Hawkins and Shepherd that I didn't in DeAndre's is in Hawkins and Shepherd, I overstocked. I spent a lot more money on stock, and I'm storing it in a warehouse still today. Huge amounts, I think I had around 100 shirts, and you have to think about how many sizes those shirts are in. So you say 7 sizes, you're talking about 700 stock key units right there and there. So that was a mistake. I should have started small, a niche, and then grown. Actually, I went big with the stock, and I'm still stuck with some of the stock today. And what you have to remember is when you've got stock in a warehouse, that stock is decreasing in value all the time. Not because it decreases in value in itself, it's still the same value product, but you're paying X amount to stock it every month. So if you've spent 10p per week or 10p per month keeping that piece of item in stock, it doesn't take long for your margins to just absolutely get squashed to the point where you're probably losing money on that stock. You want to be churning over stock quickly and easily, and that's something that I learned in business on the way. Now, I could have used these Iona's personal consultants to tell me these things. Just pick up the phone and just say, look, guys, what's the what's the business recommendation for holding stock, or what's the business recommendation for starting up a new business? How much stock should I have? How many products should I have? And all of these things that I made mistakes in with DeAndre's, in fact, I haven't. One, the products are smaller, which means it takes a lot less space to stock. And two, I'm bringing out limited edition collections, so I'm not having to hold a lot of stock. So I guess that's it for now, because I've been talking for a little bit of time, and I wanted to keep this video relatively short so that you watched it all the way through, and you've got a few tips there on what to do when starting up a business. But I really couldn't stress enough the services from guys like Ionos. And there are other competitors out there, but the reason why I chose these guys to use is because really it's the personal service, it's the consultant, it's the support, it's the customer base. They are in the UK, so it's just so much easier. You're going to pick up the phone, and you're not going to get any delay. It's not going to be like that, hello, and you wait sort of 5 seconds, someone picks up the phone from the other side of the world. So throw some questions over, and we can talk it through. And of course, more than that, better than that, is just take a look at the Ionos services and use their personal consultant, because it will be invaluable. So there you go. So without rambling on anymore, that is it. They're my tips, and hopefully you found them useful. Just thank you so much for watching. You know, I'm always so grateful for your views and your subscriptions. So thank you, and have a good day.